And Christ, even after the game, started blaming the players in different ways. And that's just, you can't do that. Even if that is true, as a coach, you can't do that. And I just feel bad for what was lost for what could have been a great experience for this generation of players at the Olympics, even if it was our D team going.
Yeah, the pointing the fingers at the end, that was definitely the sign of a coach that knows he's not working there anymore. He's like, I'm out.
I'm done.
What's up, USMNT fans? We're back with your favorite YouTube show on American soccer. It's Around the Box. I'm Rohan, and that's Jake from OneGoal. And today we have Zach and Mike from the USMNT Project. What's up, guys?
Hey, guys.
I'm happy to have you here. You guys pumped to go through 5 USMNT topics?
Nothing better.
All right, awesome. If you guys don't know the USMNT Project, we will throw a link to their YouTube channel in the description. Be sure to check them out. They got some great content going. And also check them out on Instagram as well.
All right, first topic here. So the March camp is done and dusted. We got 2 solid performances, but I want to know who was the biggest winner of this window. Rohan, who is the biggest winner for you? Who is the biggest winner for you?
Sure, yeah. I'll go with actually Brenden Aaronson on this one. I feel like overall he's in fantastic form, both in league and for international play. He's had 4 caps for the USMNT, and in each game he's looked sharp. He's looked like he's trying to run into positions, either assist the players out on the wing or put a nice ball into the box. He had an incredible assist for Salzburg today. And so you could see he's just hungry, and anytime he's on the pitch, he's trying to make a difference. And I thought his movement was excellent in the March games that he played in. So I'm going to have to hand it to him, even though he might be, not everyone's first choice. I thought he was excellent every time he throws on the USMNT jersey.
Yeah, so is he the third winger in your depth chart right now?
I guess I'd like to see him probably play, maybe in the midfield, or I guess he did play out on the wing. So if no one, I feel like that right wing spot is up for grabs between like Gio Reyna, Tim Weah, and Brenden Aaronson. So yeah, give it to him if he continues his form.
All right, Mike, who is your biggest winner?
Yeah, I think the biggest winner was a guy who wasn't even there, DeAndre Yedlin. I didn't think Reynolds showed well, and I thought Dest could play anywhere on the field. So I kind of expect Dest to set up on the left, and then it's wide open for Yedlin to come in and stake his claim again.
Yeah, so you think from what you've seen so far, Yedlin's an upgrade on like Reggie Cannon?
I think so. I think so. And he's trustworthy. We need some experience in the locker room, and he's a guy that's been around the block for years at this point.
You trust him to track runners though?
I do. The guy's got an engine.
Okay. Zach, who was your biggest winner?
Yeah, I have to say, there's a number of people that stood out to me, but Musa for me was my biggest winner. I just loved seeing, one, that he's with us finally, and he's a USMNT player. 2, it's crazy to think he's still 18 years old. He put up so much maturity in terms of keeping the ball, distributing the ball, true box to box in the games that we saw him play. And he's just exciting. He's got a lot of poise, and I think he fits into the system as it is right now, but I think he could fit into any system that we got coming his way.
Yeah, so I've seen a couple people put up their depth charts or their ideal starting 11, and they actually leave Musa out of it, which I think is crazy. Is he in your starting 11?
I love thinking that he's going to be there. We got him for the next decade plus, and I want to see him in the depth chart. He's got the talent. He's getting more playing time at Valencia. We need to see him more on the field, and I think he's there. I think he's earned it at this point with his performances.
So who sits out, Leggett, Adams, McKinney, or Musa?
I keep thinking Leggett, but he keeps putting in great performances too. So it's tough. It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, for sure. It's a pleasant change. We haven't really had that problem in a couple years. Speaking of problems, yesterday we got some bad news. Pulisic had to come off at halftime because of an injury. So, Mike, tell me what you think this injury means for the rest of his season and his career at large.
Man, it's just, I mean, you can't say it's not just a bummer because, I mean, leading up to this game, obviously he's been out of the Chelsea 11, like really weirdly out of the Chelsea 11. I thought when the new manager came in, it was going to be a boost for him, but it hasn't been. And then he's just been picking up these soft tissue injuries time after time. And so it's a bummer, but he looked great in both games in March. And so like, he's obviously there. He's obviously our most talented player. But man, it's like, you can't keep picking up these injuries.
Yeah. Do you think this is going to be the case for, the rest of his career, or will he does he just need to shake it off and then he'll be fine?
I don't know. I mean, he wasn't injured earlier on in his career. He just caught the injury bug over the last, year and a half, something like that. So I don't know. I'm going to be eternally optimistic that he is going to continue to score goals for us.
Rohan, what do you think?
Yeah, I feel like the last one was the one we should have, where everyone started to get like a little bit worried, and just the fact that this happened so soon after.
The last one, the one that happened in the Arsenal game, the FA Cup final? Was there one after that?
I think there was one after that. I mean, it feels like it's like a once a month type of thing, unfortunately. But at least I think the one against Arsenal was a major one, and he might have just kind of been slowly getting back to fitness. He's not kind of there, and then hopefully it's not something serious. But yeah, I just hope that, he's not rushed back. They're super cautious with him, and that, if he has this little injury bug thing, it's only going to be, for a certain part of his career. I mean, players go through this. Players typically have long careers. Think of like Zlatan, who missed so much of his career due to knee injuries. Of course, Pulisic isn't built like him, but players can get out of this over time. So hopefully, if not this season, next season, he can kind of shake this off. But he needs ample rest and time to kind of recuperate and not be rushed back.
Zach, does he shake it off, or is this just what we got to deal with, and he's going to be like in Arjan Robin, where he's just hurt?
Yeah, there's a couple ways I think about it. And Mike and I, we invest in soccer cards, and we're still, Pulisic is still a buy because he's still our most talented player. He's still the first one in the World Cup. I think what it speaks to is that we need, as the U.S. team, we need to generate 5 or 6 Pulisics to be able to replace him if he's not in form. And it's hard to say that, but you always got to be the most optimistic with a player like this. But his track record is shaky right now, and it's tough to think otherwise.
Yeah, it's tough. It's getting to the point where every time he plays, I'm just like, is this the game he's going to get hurt? It's been like 2 games now. He's probably due for an injury. We don't want to be in that place. This week it was announced that Bobby Wood is heading to MLS, and he'll be playing with RSL. So I want to know, can he get back into the USMNT lineup? Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, I've always been a fan of Bobby Wood. I like the way he played across. I mean, how many teams has he been with now? 6 or 7 across the Europe and the US now. He's been effective as a USMNT player. It's getting really, really crowded, and obviously Berhalter has not included him in some of the camps. It's a possibility, but I'm seeing much more of a focus on the younger players who have as much, for sure, probably more talent than Bobby Wood has had. So I see it's an uphill battle for him, even though he could be a good veteran to include in some ways. Yeah,
he's interesting in that, he was such a big part of the national team setup pretty early on in his career. So he's still relatively young, and he's got plenty of time. So with that in mind, Mike, do you think he could potentially, displace like a Daryl Dike or a Josie Altidore if he's even in the picture still?
I hope Josie's not in the picture still, but back to your other point. You look at this summer is going to be great for him because we have more games than players, and we're deep with players right now. So I wouldn't be shocked to see him get a game this year, or in Camp Cupcake in January at the very least, since he's in the MLS now. So he'll get his shot. But I mean, you look at we're kind of getting deep at forward, the number 9 for once. He's behind Sargent. He's behind DK. He's certainly behind Zardes for in Greg's eyes. So I don't know. I don't see him really playing a part in 22 or the qualifiers for it.
All right, well, let's imagine that it's a possibility. So Rohan, what does he have to do in order to book his plane ticket to 2022?
Have a 15-goal MLS season or something like that. Like, I don't know, man. I think the ship has sailed. There's enough competition there. There's enough players who deserve a chance. Even some interesting dual national picks. So, I mean, I don't think favoritism really should play any sort of role or anything like that in international soccer. Bobby Wood, he had his chance early on in his career. He's been a little up and down since then. Hopefully this is something good for him. I think it will be, but I don't see him stepping back into the USMNT picture anymore. Hopefully he can, bag a few goals in MLS, but unless he lights it up, I don't think he should be anywhere near USMNT roster.
Yeah, I mean, you said 15 goals, and I really don't think that's out of the question. I think Bobby Wood, from every facet of his game, he's a better player than Jossie Zardes. And Jossie puts up 15 goals on a regular basis. Like, there's no reason that Bobby can't. He's the king of Hawaii. Put some respect on his name.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of go against the grain. I don't think his ship has sailed. I don't think that book is closed yet. He's a good player. He's put up some big goals for us in the past. He was just cashing out for the past 3 years, but he's made his money now, and now it's time to leave a legacy. But okay. So with Bobby Wood going to an RSL, and I saw a tweet this week that was, if Daryl DK makes a move to Everton this summer, does he automatically become the starting striker for the USMNT? So I want to know, should the team that you play for and the pedigree of your club have any effect on your status within the national team? Zach, what do you think?
Yeah, it shouldn't, but it does. In my opinion, you see the players going to Europe. You hear them talk, you hear them tweet. The competition is just so much different. The hunger for who's going to start is so much different that it forces these guys to be better. And it's just a different mentality. I know we're going to talk about kind of the Olympic stuff, but you see just a different level of intensity going out to the field and knowing that if you don't perform, you're not playing anymore. And then you translate that to the international level, and you see that translate to better play.
Despite it doesn't translate to better play. Like Sebastian Lletget, for instance, right? He's been playing on arguably one of the worst MLS teams for the past 5 years, and yet he still continues to put in solid performances with the national team. So long as their performances remain the same, does it matter?
I'd say that he's the exception. And
I think so too.
and kudos to him. I mean, he's crushed it for when he's gotten played, and he's been the only one that's been at every camp and every game for the past year and a half. So he's been a huge leader, and he's gotten the experience, and he's come back from injury. He's got that mentality, and he obviously didn't need the competition of a European level team to instill that in himself overall.
Rohan, what about you? Do you think it should matter if DK gets the move? Is he automatically the number one?
I mean, I think, and maybe this isn't the best answer, but where we are in American soccer right now, where we're seeing players going to Europe, we're trying to grow the game in the States, where we're seeing the brand value increase. Maybe it is exciting. Fans want to see these players playing for the national team. But honestly, I don't think it should. I think you build a system and you put in the players that fit that system and who are going to perform the best. And Berhalter has a very specific type of system. So not every player is going to gel perfectly. And sometimes, again, with international teams, you don't play that often. There are camps throughout the year, and it takes time to really build chemistry, especially when, you know, you have a regimented system like Berhalter does, where everybody has a role, everybody positionally has to be in one place or another, and you have to play and really work with each other to maintain possession and move forward. So I think that you can't just hand it to people who are playing, you know, who are making the most money or who are signing with the flashiest clubs. It's who fits and who's most informed, I guess.
Okay, Mike, what about you?
Yeah, and I mean, more so than where they play, it's are they playing is critically important. So if DK goes to Everton and bangs 10 goals in, then obviously he's going to be our starter. But in the absence of that, he's got to earn it.
All right, sounds good. So we've had about a week now to dwell on the Olympic catastrophe that was. I want to start pointing fingers. All right. Who are you blaming? What happened? Why did this go wrong?
Oh, man. This is a rough question. I want to say like all the way to the top, like blame USSF, but I guess Jason Kreis. I mean,
okay, what did he do wrong? What should he have done? What could he have fixed?
Probably bring in a more creative player into the team. I mean, I don't know.
I saw a lot of people pointing the finger at him on Twitter. They're like, yeah, we didn't have any playmakers. Well, who was available? Who would have solved our problems?
Cowell could have come in.
Yeah.
Cade Cowell.
You think that guy? You think he's the playmaker we needed?
We need a couple more. There's a lot missing.
I think McBride needs a little sales training.
I would give it to him. I would be willing to point the finger at him more than I would at Kreis, because I feel like Kreis, he was kind of dealt a short hand. People say Eric Williamson should have gone, but if you talk to Eric Williamson, he admits that he's like, yeah, I had a pretty shitty camp. I probably didn't deserve to go. So it's like Kreis can only pick the players that perform in camp. You can't go past performances, right? So. But I do agree, like McBride could have gotten us some better players. If the Mexican Federation can do it, why can't we? Whether they're in Europe or not. I'm down with that. But does anyone else blame Kreis? Zach, are you pointing a finger at him?
Yeah, I mean, it comes to player selection. I agree with Rohan. There was no, it's been a long time since I've been that frustrated watching some of those games. There's just no creativity. People under pressure didn't know what to do with the ball. Just nothing, no possession. And Kreis, even after the game, started blaming the players in different ways. And that's just, you can't do that. Even if that is true, as a coach, you can't do that. And I just feel bad for what was lost for what could have been a great experience for this generation of players at the Olympics, even if it was our D team going.
Yeah, the pointing the fingers at the end, that was definitely the sign of a coach that knows he's not working there anymore. He's like, I'm out.
I'm done.
He's got the Inter Miami job, man.
But okay, so we got Cade Cowell. Who else do you guys think could have fixed it?
I mean, the list is so long. Like our national team is practically
MLS based players.
No, I know. But like that's why I point the finger at McBride. But like again, it's not like necessary. We don't have a lot of creative talent in the MLS. So like to your point, I don't know who else we could have gotten from there. But I also point the finger at like folks like Carlos Bocanegra. Like our captain didn't release players. Like, come on, man. It's embarrassing throughout, but yeah, it's like we just needed more firepower, and we should have called in some of the medium guns, not even the big guns from Europe.
Yeah, I agree. It's just like the European players are tough to get. People are saying Cole Bassett should have gone, but if they watch, you guys are from Colorado, you watch him play. He's not a playmaker. He's an 8 that arrives in the box pretty late, and like he can get some goals there, but he's not creating the goals. He's just finishing them. But yeah, 4 years until then.
All right, USMNT fans, hope you enjoyed that episode of Around the Box. We sure did. Some interesting takes there, going back and forth on who to blame, and hopefully the future for Pulisic's injury gets better. A lot to talk about. But yeah, want to thank our guests from the USMNT Project. Zach, you want to let the fans know what you got going on?
Yeah, first, thanks for having us. This is great. Obviously, a lot to talk about with the team and what's going on. What Mike and I really focus on with the USMNT Project. We do a lot of soccer investing, soccer cards, getting into digital cards, really focusing on the World Cup 2022 and World Cup 2026 rosters, and everything that goes with those, with the drama that goes on with the rosters. So we're really excited about the players, about the team. And from an investment standpoint, I think it's a great time to put our money where our mouth is, which is really fun to talk about and to take action on. So that's what we do. Come find us out on our Instagram channel as well as our YouTube channel, and we look forward to talking to you guys.